Alright guys, here we go. The homework for this Wednesday is right here. That is coming up for the very first confirmation class that we have in March. It's coming right up upon us, so sorry I'm only getting this up on Sunday, my bad. But it is chapter 16, the first article. Go ahead and do all of that homework. Down here in this corner you'll see the review and remember. The first two are, no way, you're not going to do that. Genesis 1:1 and 2:7, too easy. So do Hebrews 11 verse 3. So your memory work is Hebrews 11:3. By faith we understand that the universe was formed at God's command, so that what is seen was not made out of what was visible. Hebrews 11:13. We're going to do this for your homework, and there's a lecture sheet. So if you haven't done so yet, press pause, and and go ahead and download the lecture worksheet. Fill that out as we go. The stuff about the first article is cool stuff in the book. I'm glad you're going to do this. Yay. You should already know the first article of the Apostles' Creed, and we're going to talk about the Luther's explanation of the first article of the Creed. It's really not that exciting, so I'm not going to have you memorize it. But what I want to do for the lecture is talk about evolution. It's kind of a hot topic in Christianity. I know you guys learn about it in school, and you're probably wondering what is the response that we have. What is it that the church believes? This is one of those weird places where, generally speaking, I tell you behave in school, listen to your teachers, do well in your homework, blah 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 blah, and then we come to evolution, and I go, yeah, but it's wrong. Evolution is incorrect. We talked about this actually a little bit today in Bible study, so it's right on the top of my head. I want to talk to you about evolution because I know you have to have these conversations in science class all the time. Through high school into college, you're going to have these conversations. My encouragement to you is to learn this stuff, to put it down on the paper to get the right grade. But at the end of the day, you have to hold in your heart that it just isn't real. Some people want to say that you can be a Christian and still believe in evolution. I'm not going to stand here and tell you, I'm not going to sit here because I'm sitting down. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that if you believe in evolution, you are not a Christian. I'm not going to say that. But I think if you examine it, if you start to look at what evolution and faith really means, I think what you have to come to a conclusion that either God did or He didn't create the heavens and the earth. It is either the way He said it was, or it isn't the way He said it was. One of those things is true. As you're going to find out in your memory work on Hebrews, when you read Genesis, He said He made stuff, right? He said He made the heavens and the earth. That's what He says in Genesis. That's what Hebrews said. It's all over the Old Testament. It's what everybody believed for forever without question, until Darwin, natural selection, and science started to chisel away at it. So let's talk for a second. I want to start with the conversation of, can you be a Christian and still believe in evolution? I actually don't like to give an answer to that question, so that's fun. But no, I want to answer the question. But first, I want to respond with another question. My first question is, do you think you couldn't pull it off? So let's say you're a Christian, but you say, I believe in evolution. I love Jesus. I think He died for my sins. I think He was truly God. But I believe the world came about by evolution. My question is, why? Do you think you couldn't pull it off? Like, you think God was like, cool, I can become Jesus, I can die for the sins of the world, probably can't create stuff. If He's not powerful enough to create the heavens and the earth, if He isn't a God so powerful to simply say things and have them happen, then how could Jesus say to the storm, be quiet, and it happened? I mean, if God's word didn't have power, then God's word didn't have power. So if Jesus says to the storm, shush, be quiet, if He's not God and God's word doesn't have power, it doesn't happen. So the first thing you have to think is okay, if I'm a Christian, if I believe God can do anything, do I believe that He can create the heavens and the earth? Now, if you think that yes, He could have, I just don't think He did. It's a little bit different. So you say, let's say hypothetically, I believe in God. I love Jesus. He's true God, true man, died for my sins. I have faith in Him, going to go to heaven. I think God could have created the heavens and the earth with just saying it in 6 days, but I think He did it over all of this time. Let me ask you then, if you think He could and He didn't, why evolution? But why is that the way that this went down? I'm gonna cough. I got a little thing still going on. Why didn't he? Why did he say he did it in 6 days when it took him millions of years, if you believe in evolution? It's a funny thing to think about. Why would God mislead people? Why wouldn't God just tell Moses when he wrote the Old Testament, in the beginning there was nothing, and then something went bang really loud, it was big, and then over millions of years I slowly brought creatures into being, and then made man out of monkeys. Why wouldn't he just say that? Why would he keep it a secret and design it so differently? At the end of the day, you start to really bump into things and say, you lose a reason to not believe that God just created stuff. Because it boils down to this. I'm going to cut to the chase. It boils down to this. If you're a Christian and you believe that creation didn't happen in 6 days, but rather evolution created stuff over a long period of time, there's only a few reasons why you believe that. Number one, you don't really believe that God is powerful. You think he's just a nice guy who lives in the sky, and every now and then he listens to you, and sometimes he does stuff, but it's really not all that great because that's powerful enough to actually affect the natural world. It's not like he could create something. So that's a bad understanding of who God is. So that's option one. If you're a Christian and you don't believe that God created the heavens and the earth, option two is that he just didn't feel like doing it that way, did it over a long period of time, and lied to Moses. And he continued to lie in the New Testament, decided to not tell people the truth, and say that he spoke it into existence in 6 days, and that's the way it is, because God's a big fat liar. Also not a great God to believe in. Option number three, which is where I think if you really examine yourself, this is the option. If you believe in God and Jesus and faith, but don't think that he created the heavens and the earth, this is your third option. It goes like this. I believe in Jesus. I believe that God is powerful. I believe that he could have created the heavens and the earth, but I'm chicken. And I don't want people to think I'm stupid. And I don't want people to laugh at me. And I don't want to feel stupid. And when people talk about evolution and science, I don't want to sound like a backwoods country hillbilly, like, oh, I don't believe in science. I believe in Jesus and the Bible, and science is wrong. You're chicken. You don't want to sound like that person. I have good news for you, that you can believe in Jesus, you can believe in the Bible, and you can believe in creation, and you can welcome and embrace science. You can be smart, you can love physics, you can love chemistry, you can love biology, you can be the best scientist on the planet and embrace Christianity, and everything is hunky-dory. You just have to keep everything in the right place. Here's what I mean. I have a smoke detector in my house, and it does a good job of what? Detecting smoke. You know what it doesn't do a good job of? Detecting argon gas. Why? Because it's a smoke detector. Here's the analogy. Science tests for natural phenomena. Science gauges what happens in the natural world and predicts that if it can and will happen again. Science measures natural things like the natural laws of science. Things accelerate towards the ground naturally at 9.86 meters per second. It's the gravitational pull towards the Earth. Things have natural sequence to them. Biology has natural functions and mechanics to it. All of those things are true, and they're all natural, and it's like a smoke detector testing for natural things. But God is supernatural. Not like supernatural, what you're thinking of in comic books and stuff like that. God is supernatural in that he is beyond nature. He is not a created thing, which is what natural things are. He is the creator of things. It's like your smoke detector testing for argon. It doesn't. So science never found God. Right, because science tests natural things. Science doesn't test supernatural things. So there is not a natural test for God. That's why he never shows up in natural tests. That's why he never shows up when you look for him with science, because he's outside the scope of it. So you can be all about science. You just can't find things that are of God in science. And since God created things, you don't find it in science. Well, you might think, well, people have proven with science that the Earth is billions of years old. I want you to do something. I want you to go to the internet, and I want you to Google the